Yo, what is good, you guys? It's your boy Gingerbread D from ADHD Flippin'. How the fuck y'all doing? Today is my story time of my worst trip ever. My first bad trip on LSD. Alright, so, I mentioned in my first time tripping on acid video that I'd do this eventually. Well, I'm just gonna do it at the same time. I'm just filming this like 2 seconds after I film the other one, just to get it out of the way. So, this actually took place this year, but towards the beginning of it. So, it takes place with my friend Clay, who was in the first time smoking weed video, and a friend who I don't think wants his name disclosed. I'm not sure. I didn't really take the time to ask him. Let's just call him Leonard. So, me and Clay and Leonard decided to sleep over at Clay's house, okay? And this particular night, we bought a fuck ton of tabs, okay? And my dumbass decided that my most at this time was 2.5, which was already kind of an uncomfortable experience, but not a bad one. So my dumbass decided, hey, let's jump to 4.5 tabs right off the bat. So I dropped 4.5. The other, Clay drops 3, and my other friend drops 4. So what ended up happening was, we took it really late, like at 2 a.m. to 2:25 a.m. So we decided, hey, let's go up in town and wait until the gas station opens at 4. We're like, bet. So we go into town, and it's usually like every single car is flying past you on Main Street, but it was pretty much dead, like no one was out. And I remember we were sitting on this bench, and I don't know why the fuck I said this. I didn't even really play Fortnite much ever. I just played it for like a week, and I stopped. But all of a sudden, when it starts to kick in, I go, yo, we're on the battle bus. Where are we dropping, boys? And Clay points across the street at this restaurant that has like a TV in the window, and the TV's facing walker-bys or passer-bys, whatever, so they can see what's playing. And he goes, I guess we're dropping into the Muppet previews. And I look, and it's literally the DVD menu on repeat of the Muppets. And we all, like, dying laughing there. And fast forward, the gas station's open, we get our energy drinks, we drink them, and we go back. And once we go back to the house, this is when I'm start feeling uneasy, but not quite bad yet. So we go back inside, and Clay needs to find his vape juice, okay? And it's in this little shoebox, okay? And this is when we get stuck in a loop. So if you guys do not know what thought loops are, this is my best way of explaining them. Imagine you're walking down the street, right? And you have like normal thoughts, like you can think different things, and you don't really have one thought that keeps repeating over and over again, and you can say different things besides one thing. And then all of a sudden you get stuck in this loop where you can only think the one thing over and over again, one specific thing, and you can only say one specific thing over and over again. And the steps you're walking, you're making progress in all sober reality. Sorry, that's my sister going, ah! Alright, you're making, like, progress walking in all sober reality. But in your mind, you're going from step 10 all the way back to teleporting back to step 1 and going back and back. It's basically like putting a YouTube video on repeat, but in real life. So yeah, that can happen to you. And we got stuck in this loop where we were walking room to room, and I knew it was a loop. I knew it wasn't just, like, the energy from the stimulation of the effects. I knew it wasn't just the stimulation from it making us walk aimlessly. We could tell because, if this makes sense, the same mannerisms, like the same direction and way our arms and legs were moving, I could tell that we were looping. Plus, we can only think one thing and say one thing. We were laughing our asses off and going, where's the box? Where's the box? Where's the box? And this lasted, like, a good 5-10 minutes, and finally we broke out of it. And Leonard goes, yo, I think we were stuck in a loop, but we couldn't verbalize it. And I'm like, yeah, you think? And I point underneath Clay's bed, and I'm like, oh, it's right there in plain sight. And we're like, oh, fuck, we're retards. Anyway, so then this is when shit hits the fan. The thing is, sometimes LSD can make you nauseous, especially in high doses. And I was already starting to have a bad trip, and I literally felt like I was in hell for a little bit there. So I go outside, and the bathroom's broken at Clay's house, keep in mind. They were working on it, so I had to go outside to puke. And I vomited all over a tree, a little TMI. And I figured that would help make it a little better. But no, was I wrong? The thing about LSD is it doesn't ingest fully through your liver or your stomach. It ingests a little bit through your liver, but mainly through sweat and saliva and mucus glands and membranes, whatever. I don't know the gist of it, just it doesn't really digest the way you'd puke. So if anything, it enhances it by puking. So then that's when shit starts to go bad. I start going, oh fuck. Maybe if I lay down and close my eyes, maybe the closed-eyed visual would help. If you guys do not know what closed-eyed visuals are, basically, or haven't taken acid at all, basically open-eyed visuals are where you're seeing and hallucinating stuff outside of, like, you closing your eyes, like, with your eyes open. And closed-eyed is basically where you shut your eyes and there's almost like a movie picture playing in your eyelids. Like, yeah, closed-eyed visuals, hence the name. So I lay down, I curl up in a ball, and I'm like, please just let this end. I close my eyes, and nope, I was wrong. They are no better. I got this closed-eyed visual of, like, an eagle-eye view. It was almost like a movie picture playing in my eyelids, of an eagle-eye airplane view of me laying there in the same position. Excuse me. Eagle-eye airplane position of me laying there, literally in the same spot, literally decaying, with insects crawling in and out of me. And a lot of people are going to be like, no way you had something that intense. Keep in mind, I jumped from, like, a relatively low dose to a high fucking dose. These were, like, 200 microgram UG tabs each. Like, come on, use your fucking head. And this is what, also another part that people are going to be like, that's not even possible. Well, for me, sometimes, it depends person to person. You can't say that, because for me, sometimes my visuals will link to how my body's feeling. Like, what I'm seeing will kind of link to how my body's feeling. So then all of a sudden I start to get the sensation where my skin is, like, dissolving. Like, sorry, it cut out. So then I basically just started feeling this sensation like my skin was dissolving as I was, like, watching myself decay. And basically what happened was about, like, 45 minutes later they realize I'm gone. And they, like, basically grab me by the arm and take me inside, like, try to understand what's going on. And all I could say to them, I felt like if I straight up said I'm having a bad trip or having a nightmare experience, it would make it even worse, just verbalizing and thinking that I'm having one. So for some reason, I just kept saying, I don't feel good. So they took it as I was sick. They took it as I was fucking sick. So even though I was having a bad trip, it was more mental than anything. And then I go lay down, and I shut the lights off, and I close the door, and they open the door 2 seconds later, and they're like, come on, dude, I'm telling you, just get up and go around, you'll feel better. And I kept yelling at them, I don't feel good. Please leave me alone. And they just wouldn't. They were yelling and stuff, having a fun-ass time while I'm laying there, having the worst day of my life, and they keep opening up the door, trying to get me out of there for about 4 hours, and finally they gave up. They're like, whatever, man, come out when you're ready. And don't be mad at them. They literally just thought I was sick. Like, I wasn't explaining it more. I wish I would have, because I don't know why I thought that it would make it worse verbalizing that I'm having a bad trip, but I just, like, I felt like they were going to ask what I'm seeing or feeling, and then me thinking on it and dwelling on it would make it worse. I don't know, but all I could say was I don't feel good. So, yeah, don't be mad at them. They just thought I was just nauseous or sick, and that and the movement would help, which they're not wrong. Once you get your mind off of it and move around and have fun with people, you're not going to feel as much sick anymore, but I wasn't sick. It was a bad fucking trip. And then finally, I remembered the wise words of one of my favorite YouTubers. His name's Psyched Substance. The more you try to control your trip, the more it's going to bite you in the ass. So, if anything, just let it control you. Just let go and accept that what the experience is showing you. So I did that. I was just laying down there, closed my eyes, taking deep breaths, doing breathing techniques. And yeah, eventually towards, like, the last 5 hours of my trip, I felt fine. Not fine, I was still kind of on edge, but I came out there and I was better enough to, like, go out there and talk to them. So yeah, and then I went out. And the rest of the time was a fun time. We just sat there listening to music. Fucking Suicide Boys, I No Longer Fear the Razor Guarding the Heel. Literally is the best tripping song ever. Like, the sounds in it literally sound like you're getting ascended to heaven. Imagine the tingles you'd get on LSD from listening to that. That's what we put on fucking loop. And we were, just sitting there chatting, laughing around, having a fun time, enjoying the visuals. But then I kind of just went off and into another room and did something else. I can't really remember. So I didn't really catch the last part of what was going on. But I guess something bad did go on with one of my other friends. So basically I walk back in there while we're starting to come down. And as we're coming down and we're sobering up, Leonard lifts up his shirt and says, "I don't remember doing this." And I turn around, I'm like, "What, bro?" And the minute I go, "What, bro?" I realize he has help me written 45 times at least on his chest, chest, stomach, arms, legs, just help me written over 45 times. And he's like, "I guess we all had a bad trip at some point last night." I'm like, "You can tell me mine was a nightmare." Anyway, that's the end of my worst trip ever. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button, turn on the bell, subscribe, sorry about that, turn on the bell, subscribe, and comment, please. My comment section is very dry. See y'all later. Peace.